Welcome back to Investing Talk Podcast. Today we're tackling a question we see everywhere across our feeds. Is now a good time to buy Bitmine technologies? We're going to perform a thorough analysis using the conflicting source material you shared. I mean, this is a company known for its hypergrowth in the blockchain infrastructure space, right?
Absolutely. But it's also known for that really aggressive high-risk strategy of accumulating Ethereum.
Yeah, and that strategy has led to some extreme, almost stomach-churning stock volatility. So we'll unpack the sources, which present both a strongly bullish case, fundamentally driven.
And some pretty critical, urgent warnings about rapid equity dilution. It's quite the conflict.
Definitely. Before we jump into this crucial set of numbers, please subscribe, like, and comment on this analysis. It really helps us out. And hey, if you have a specific company you want us to look into next, just leave a comment below. Okay, let's unpack this central conflict right away. Bitmine Technologies is grabbing headlines because it set this audacious, almost unheard of goal.
They want to become the world's largest corporate holder of Ethereum.
And the target they stated, accumulating a massive 5% of the total ETH supply. Just wow.
It's fascinating, isn't it, how that single enormous ambition has become both its greatest asset, driving attention, and maybe its biggest vulnerability.
How so?
While that 5% target, it's like an existential bet. They are really swinging for the fences, trying to build a crypto treasury that competes maybe with the entire mining sector combined. And that ambition, it drove massive initial speculative valuation, no doubt.
But things changed.
Yeah, over the past 3 months, the narrative has fundamentally shifted. We've moved pretty quickly from celebrating their bullish ETH position to, well, immediate, intense questions about the how.
The mechanism they're using to achieve it.
Exactly. Specifically, the dilution risk and the long-term sustainability of, using shareholder equity to just finance buying crypto.
And we can actually pinpoint the catalyst for that shift, can't we? August 2025.
That's the one. Terrace Capital released that high-profile short report.
Right, and crucially, it didn't really attack the mining business itself, did it?
No, it went straight for the capital allocation strategy, the practice of issuing new shares, basically selling off bits of the company just to purchase and hoard Ethereum.
Okay, so for listeners, let's just quickly clarify dilution here. When a company issues new shares to fund things, or, like here, buy assets.
Every existing share you own represents a slightly smaller piece of the pie, a smaller percentage of ownership.
And the worry is that any value they create by stacking ETH might get totally wiped out by just printing more and more shares.
Precisely. The short report crystallized that fear, and the market reacted, well, violently.
How bad was it?
We saw the stock drop roughly 17% within just 1 week after that report came out.
Wow, 17%.
Yeah.
That move really highlights high investor anxiety, doesn't it? It suggests confidence is conditional at best on that capital strategy.
Yeah, very conditional. And the anxiety didn't just stop with the short report.
No, we saw another sharp move, technically speaking, on October 14th.
That's right. Shares had a significant gap down.
Which means the opening price was way lower than the previous day's close. It dropped sharply from $56.85 down to $52.69.
And importantly, on exceptionally high trading volume, over 11 million shares traded hands that day.
So what does that high volume plus the sharp drop tell us?
Well, it confirms two things, really. First, that the critical analysis of this ETH accumulation model is ongoing and it's driving immediate selling pressure. And second, that high volatility is just sort of baked into this stock price right now. Bitmine Technologies is definitely not a stock for the faint of heart currently.
Okay, that volatility is undeniable, but the underlying documents you sent over show that analysts, they remain overwhelmingly bullish on the operational side.
Yeah, it's striking. 6 out of 7 analysts currently recommend a buy.
So are these analysts just ignoring the dilution, or is the core business really strong enough to maybe offset this capital strategy risk?
That really is the $56 question, isn't it? I mean, if we connect this to the bigger picture, the fundamentals are the primary driver of that bullish outlook. The argument is that the growth is so exceptional, it justifies the risk, at least for now.
And how strong is that growth?
It's incredibly strong. It positions the company among the fastest growing in its peer group. Let's put some hard numbers on that hypergrowth. Revenue for 2024 was $3.31 million.
Okay.
That represents an eye-watering 413% increase from 2023.
413%.
And it doesn't stop there. The consensus estimates for 2025 project that to more than double again, jumping to $7 million. That's a 110% year-over-year climb.
So this isn't just growth, it's accelerating growth, the kind you look for in a high-tech infrastructure play.
Exactly. It's that trajectory.
But growth alone doesn't guarantee long-term value, right? Often companies growing that fast just burn through cash even faster. Where do the margins fit in?
This is where the bull thesis gets really compelling. The company's path to profitability seems to be sharpening dramatically. Now, Bitmine Technologies is currently pre-profit. They reported a net loss of about nadishly $3.3 million in 2024. But the projections show a huge improvement towards near break-even in 2025. Losses are expected to drop sharply to only about nadisha $0.2 million.
So almost break even next year. What does that signal?
It signals strong operating leverage. Basically, their fixed costs, like setting up the infrastructure, aren't rising nearly as quickly as their revenue.
Meaning they get more efficient as they grow?
Right. They're starting to generate higher returns for every extra dollar of sales, which makes that eventual flip to profitability seem much more believable.
Okay, so the financials look impressive, at least the projections. But those profits rely on cutting-edge infrastructure in a super competitive sector like crypto mining. We need to know their edge is defensible. What exactly is the tech that gives them this competitive moat?
Right. That edge lies in their proprietary infrastructure, specifically proprietary immersion-cooled mining services.
Immersion cooling.
Yeah, so for you, the listener, the key takeaway here is efficiency. Traditional mining uses big fans, right? Which suck up energy and aren't always super effective. Immersion cooling means they literally submerge the mining hardware directly into a special non-conductive fluid.
So why does dunking a computer in liquid matter for mining?
It matters a lot. It dramatically boosts efficiency. It lets them mine more crypto using less energy and less physical space.
And energy cost is everything in mining.
It's critical. This lets them push the hardware harder and make it last longer. It's a highly defensible niche because, frankly, it takes a lot of capital and engineering know-how to scale up this kind of advanced cooling. High barriers to entry.
Okay, that structural advantage helps explain the investor conviction, despite all the volatility we talked about.
For sure. The stock has delivered a meteoric rise, over 600% since its debut back in June 2025.
Yeah, and we saw the latest closing price was $56.85.
Yeah.
But does the technical analysis, the charts, suggest this upward momentum can actually overcome the dilution fear in the near term?
Well, the technical picture remains bullish, but cautiously so. The strong long-term conviction is based on that tech edge and the growth numbers we just discussed. Based on recent price action, volume accumulation, the 3-month bullish trading range outlook is projected between $39.50 on the low end, that seems like strong support, and maybe $65 is the next ceiling.
So 6 out of 7 analysts say buy. The tech charts maybe suggest a potential 15% upside to $65. But hang on, the stock crashed 17% on a single short report. Doesn't that suggest investor confidence is still, paper thin? Are we sure those analyst targets aren't just looking backwards?
That is the absolute critical intersection we need to analyze. The market is currently valuing the huge ETH treasury and the proprietary tech, but every single time management dilutes the stock to buy more ETH, it creates this potential crisis point, So
Right.
the near-term trajectory, it's likely going to be determined entirely by how management addresses this whole capital allocation strategy publicly. They can't just ignore it.
Which points us to 3 absolutely critical dates coming up in the next few months. Anyone holding or looking to buy needs to circle these on their calendar.
Definitely. What's first?
First up, October 28th. That's the Q3 earnings report. Management absolutely needs to use this call to offer clarity on the sustainability of this equity for Ethereum strategy.
They just can't dodge the market's anxiety anymore. Transparency is key here.
Then we move to November 15th. That's a key date for ETF rebalancing.
Ah, right. This is where large institutional funds might reweight their holdings.
Exactly. And that could spark significant anticipated institutional buying or selling in fast-growing, highly liquid blockchain infrastructure stocks like this one.
And finally, December 6th, that's when the public filings of institutional buys are due.
These are mandatory public filings. They'll show the hard data, right? They'll reveal the true level of institutional confidence in the company after all this recent volatility and the short report.
Yeah, we'll see if the big money managers view the dilution as just a temporary cost for getting massive ETH exposure, or if they see it as a fatal flaw in the strategy.
Institutional activity is so key because they have the capital to potentially absorb selling pressure.
Absolutely. These flows, plus the earnings transparency or lack thereof, will be intensely watched. Will they provide support, or will they just add fuel to the volatility fire if institutions decide the risk is too high right now?
Okay, before we wrap up, we absolutely have to look squarely at the high-stakes risks that counter that bullish analyst sentiment, which, as we've said, seems highly vulnerable to these capital strategy shifts. What are the major red flags the listener must consider?
Well, the primary structural risks are pretty clear, and they tie directly back to that dilution fear. First, the company is still pre-profit.
Right, negative net income.
And negative free cash flow. They're burning cash, not generating it yet.
Which
Because they're cash flow negative, they are entirely reliant on the equity market for funding. Entirely. So if the market closes that door, if investors suddenly refuse to buy more shares because they're fed up with the dilution,
the whole hypergrowth strategy just stalls.
instantly, the high ongoing capital needed to scale their mining infrastructure and acquire more ETH becomes impossible to meet without financing. That tap gets turned off.
So the biggest immediate risk is really execution risk, not just running the mines, but actually financing the whole massive, aggressive expansion plan.
That's it. And of course, that's layered on top of the constant risk of broader crypto price volatility. A big drop in Bitcoin or Ethereum prices would hit both their operations and the value of that massive ETH treasury they're building.
Okay, that's the scary side. But on the flip side, there are some strong speculative catalysts out there, rumors, basically that, if they turn out to be true, could drive powerful momentum.
Yeah, they could dramatically shift the narrative away from dilution anxiety.
What's the rumor mill churning out?
Well, fittingly, it's focused on the immediate problem, managing that huge Ethereum treasury. There are rumors about potential ETH ETF inclusion.
Inclusion in an ETF. Why?
Specifically because of the sheer size of their ETH holdings. The idea is, if a major ETF provider decided to incorporate Bitmine stock as a sort of proxy for institutional Ethereum exposure, well, that would be monumental validation.
That would be huge. What else?
There's also speculation about a strategic partnership with a major crypto custodian.
To bolster security.
Exactly. Bolster security and their institutional custody profile. That would add a layer of perceived safety around that massive 5 perceived ETH target they have, make institutions feel better.
Makes sense. Anything directly addressing the dilution?
Yes, and perhaps most relevant to the current anxiety, there's ongoing chatter about a potential share buyback announcement from the board.
Buying back their own shares.
Precisely. Intended as a direct countermeasure to the short report and the dilution concerns. A buyback signals management thinks the stock is undervalued and shows a commitment to existing shareholders.
That would certainly help sentiment. One more.
Yeah, plus some unconfirmed reports suggest management might get proactive and shift its funding strategy away from just selling equity.
How?
The rumor is they might use debt financing, basically, taking out loans instead of issuing more shares to continue buying ETH in Q4.
Which would immediately reduce that primary dilution risk the market is so laser focused on right now.
Exactly. Less pressure on the stock price, potentially.
So, okay, what's the final takeaway for you, the investor, looking at this massive disconnect? You've got a company with triple-digit revenue growth, proprietary next-gen tech in a growing niche.
But its entire aggressive growth model hinges on stacking crypto using this highly scrutinized method. It's a classic high-risk, high-reward setup, really, built around one single massive asset bet on Ethereum.
So who is the stock for?
Well, the core investment thesis suggests Bitmine tech is attractive for maybe 2 distinct types of investors. First, for short-term traders, purely because of the high volatility and those near-term catalysts like earnings and institutional rebalancing. Lots of potential movement. And second? And second, maybe for long-term holders who are seeking sustained structural exposure to the next wave of blockchain infrastructure growth and are willing to ride out the bumps.
So it really comes down to that interplay.
Yeah, the interplay between crypto adoption rates, which helps their core business and the ETH value, and the persistent criticism of the dilution risk. Those will be the critical drivers for the stock price over the next quarter. The company has basically traded stability for potentially massive upside. That's the bargain.
So the final question you really need to consider isn't just if they will execute on building out their mining infrastructure. The numbers suggest they probably can.
Right.
But how the market ultimately chooses to value that massive Ethereum treasury. Is the value of the ETH they hold actually worth the constant, sometimes painful, cost of rapid equity issuance required to get it and keep it?
That tension right there is what will likely define this stock for the rest of the year.